You gonna work, camera? Come on now. It's so cold the camera's acting like it's freezing up. Good morning, folks. It's Wednesday the 21st of January. Cheers. You know, the weather is strange. It's warmer, supposedly, by the temperature than it was yesterday, but it's freaking freezing. And it's going to get even colder the next couple days. I understand that the East Coast is experiencing it already in the South. This weather ain't playing, and that sweet spot that we had for however long it was is gone because of climate change. Thanks to mankind, no matter what businesses want to say, oh, you can't blame it on this, you can't blame it on that. Yes, we did it. We fucked up the balance. So here we are. Cheers, people. Cheers. I'm just moving right along. So what's up? Well, this is what's up. Um, talked to Richard Sinclair again yesterday, and notice as I bring it to mind, my first reaction is to smile and laugh. I will put the video up later today. It's an hour. It's an hour long. Richard makes me smile. So I want to do an honest version of what I see everyone else doing, and I can't tell that they're being honest. Couple of endorsements. Okay, the first one goes out to Mauricio of Rockin' Pins. I'm doing this because it makes sense to shine a light on someone who is doing business. They need advertising so people know, but I'm doing it because of sincere appreciation for what Mauricio has shared with me by sharing his contacts with me of people whose music I love. So that's an honest endorsement of Rockin' Pins. Okay. The second one is for Richard Sinclair. I joined his song. How does he describe it? We talk about it in the video. Let me just see if I can call it up right quick. Richard Sinclair's song. Let me go there. You do a yearly subscription. This is the first time I've ever done this. Okay, Sinclair Songs Club. I am really pleased. This is the first time I've done this. Subscribe to someone's music. It's the first time I've done it that I know. I've been a fan of people like the Residents and stuff. But we talk about it in the video, and he asked me. He said, please. And he was so honest about it. See, that's why I went ahead and did it. That's why this is not an endorsement. An endorsement, well, it's a real endorsement. Most endorsements are paid. I actually paid, and now I'm endorsing it because it means something to me. And also, it's exciting. So I'll post the video later today. It's an hour long. Richard is so honest and so down to earth, and we talk like he's chatty, and he just goes on, and so it got to the point where it's like I'm real. I do not put on for anybody, and so I started to tease him. Well, you're a bit chatty, aren't you? I bet you talk your wife to death, don't you? It's in the video. It's in the. just makes me like him that much more. But the thing I keep trying to get at here about this song subscription, I'm so glad, you know, that I did it, because he was honest about being skint, broke, how the money just dribbles in, for someone as wonderful and who has brought so much joy and continues to bring so much joy to the world through his music that, he's just getting by. He's still working, gigging, recording, working on a new album. We talk about that. But the thing that I'll show some records, but I ended up spending well over an hour listening on in the Sinclair Songs Club because, oh geez, and the other thing, let me get there first. It's like getting the keys to like the Zappa utility muffin kitchen or whatever you call it, where he's got all his tapes. Richard said he has thousands of hours of tape, and it's all being archived with a Japanese company. But there's already about 200 titles of music unreleased that you get, and I was in heaven because I really do love this music. It's not bullshit. So I got to listen to, and I love his voice. So I don't remember the titles because they're mine. As a result of being in the club, I can download everything, and it's like I said, hundreds of titles. I listened to a few albums last night where it's more recent band configurations doing like the Caravan of Dreams and doing all that old stuff. It's awesome. Richard Sinclair ought to be a superstar and in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and all that kind of shit. He don't care nothing about that stuff. He's a music nerd like me, and you'll see that we get to a point because it's like my cup gets full with people and I have to go. It's like I don't want to be around people all day, all the time. And so after a while, it's time to go. You know what I'm saying? But we started getting silly. And that's how I know it's real. The other thing that blew me away is that when I got the subscription, when it went live, his newest releases, the newest release in his club is our first interview. I'm just really blown away that he enjoyed it so much, and it's listed here like an album. The Dereck Higgins interview by Richard Sinclair, 1/5/2026, and the thumbnail that he chose to use for it, lovely smile from him. And see, the thing that why I'm even more further blown away is because I watch other podcasts, and he's been on several. He was on another one just recently, about a month ago. I forget the guy's name, but I'm watching that guy because he's got Mont Campbell being interviewed right now. I've watched part of it. Mont Campbell from Egg. But Richard was on his channel just a month ago. He didn't post that. He posted mine. I'm honored, okay? These little things just mean so much to me with my Omaha behind. I think some of you maybe can try to understand the perspective. I don't even live in a city. Omaha's not a city. It's a big, small town. And to have made these connections worldwide with some of the musicians who have meant the most to me, it's such a gift. It means so much. So I will wait and post it later because I'd like to give people a chance to see each video. I like to see the numbers. Okay, well, how many people watched me yesterday? I pay attention to that. I like it. I like seeing that. I sure do. talking about collaborating. I'm just going to just, it happens, it happens. So to move on, before I show some records, I've just got a few to show. More people have sent me their art for consideration for my next album. Thank you. Nothing yet is really hitting, but it's getting better. I'm honestly, from the beginning with what Sean sent me, there's quality there, but what I'm looking for quality wise, the Ray Rosado is his name, pretty good. Then another person, James something, just sent me stuff like that, pretty good. Nothing is selling. Nothing is so far. I said that's it. Another artist says he's sending me some stuff to see today. Thank you for being interested in having your work on my record. We'll see. You know, it could end up being a photograph. I know what I want to see, not specifically, but I know visually what I like. You see what I'm saying? So, I didn't move it. Let me see if I can move these records without bumping the camera and disconnecting it. Okay, good. Old music is a comfort. I can help it, but I want to know what's happening in the world. So I do watch news feeds around the world. It's just really sickening. And so the music, in particular this old music, is a comfort. So some stuff that I listen to. Hiromi Hosono's band Happy End, their first album. I'm so glad this got reissued. They are trying to do an approximation of the California sound, the Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young, Birds sort of thing. But because it's from an outsider's point of view, I like it because they're not getting it right. You know what I mean? It's like they're not playing the jangly sort of stuff from the basis of it being in your background all the time, like Peter, Paul, and Mary. So it's kind of odd. I have this beautiful reissue of it on red vinyl. Listen to this whole album and really enjoyed it. I don't speak Japanese. I learned it enough to go to the store when I was there. But I don't know what they're saying about. I just really don't fucking care. I really don't. I just love the way the music sounds and the way it makes me feel. That's why so many singers, many people that are really revered these days, I just don't give a fuck. I don't care what I don't really care about your song, your story. I care about you as a person, but that's not why I'm listening. I'll show this right quick because it just dawned on me while I was getting ready to play the Hosono that it was clear vinyl. And I have these record mats that I, you know how you get from the record store day where they give you placemats for your turntable. So this is the one that comes with it. You know, I haven't used one for a while, so I put it on. I have a Beatles Revolver plate, so I put that on and stared at that for a minute while the Hosono played. But I also have this Starfucker. These are fun. I just don't use them too much. I've got to have a Devo one. That's a nice design. Then, of course, I got to have a Homer's 50 years. I have at least one more. Oh, I have a couple more. I have a couple of these. Blue Note. These are fun. And then this is still sealed in the bag. Black Pumas. Black Pumas are good. I just not the kind of thing that I'm interested in. That soul wailing, I don't need to hear it. I really don't. I really don't. It doesn't do nothing for me. That soul wailing, that's what it is. Somebody else needs to hear that. What else? A little more than Japanese music. I don't know why I relate Japanese music and Japanese people so much. Maybe I was Japanese in another life. I know that I feel like I was a woman once in another life, very possibly. So this is a 12-inch single, but it's a killer. Co-produced by Ryuichi Sakamoto. Koharu Kisaragi. I think it's the only record she ever made. Neoplant. And she's dead already. What the hell? This is really good. Then, I'm just messing with you now. Germans. Let's go back to them Germans. I'm going to tell you though, except for the Bavarian part of Germany, I was treated really well in Germany. Overall, really well in Europe when I was on tour. But Germany was the bomb. Munich and Hamburg. Yeah. Thirsty Moon, their first album. Green Brain, baby. This is some good shit. This is so cool because this is back in the early 70s when just everything was happening. They'd play some rock, they'd play some jazz, then they'd go and be real psychedelic and spacey, and then turn around and come back and do it all again. This is wonderful music. Yellow Sunshine. The B-side is a 21-minute long track. It's just killer. And then they went really commercial after this. I have a couple more records. For me, this is the best one, the first album. This was a gift from the VC years ago. This lead singer from the band Affinity made a solo album. The Fetch, well, she's made a couple, and the first solo album is very collectible, very hard to find. This is really good. The Fetch, yeah, that's Roger Dean. Artwork on the cover. She has a very distinct voice. Very distinct voice. And Gary Husband is a drummer on here. Peter Van Hook, Mo Foster, who I've never met, but he passed away, but he's a good friend with Ray Russell, I've never met Ray, but Ray Russell is a friend, like a friend, who will just pop up and talk to me through the internet. We've never met, but he feels like a friend. I love this album. It's not prog. It's kind of bluesy, actually. She's got a wonderful, I dare say it, sexy voice. You know that whole thing about pheromones and how nature is involved with attraction to a degree that we have nothing to say about? Her voice kind of turns me on. Couple more. This is some old Porcupine Tree that they put out in a limited edition. I think it's like 2021 is when they released this. Coma Coda. Some live recordings that go back to when the original drummer, there they are, and when Steve had all that hair when he was just a kid, literally. And this is on red vinyl too. I enjoyed this very much. And yes, Steven Wilson is in the studio as we speak. Could be a solo album, could be Porcupine Tree, could be both, but he's at work. And that's a good thing. So, in that group on Facebook that I mentioned, the Krautrock Jazz, um, run by Dominic, it is probably one of the more popular groups of that type right now. It's very active. He claims that he's just added 1,000 members to the group. I don't care about that, but it's like interesting, how things go in trends. When the YouTube vinyl community site first went up on Facebook, that was real active. It's almost dead now. It's not, but very little. But one of the very consistent contributors to the prog groups is Clive Littlewood, whom I've never met, but he's reached out to me, so we're friendly. He had a label. He had a electronic music label back in the 80s, and this compilation came out not too long ago through Soul Jazz Records. I thought I had a bad copy, but it turns out it was my needle. Space, Energy, and Light. 3-record set. This is a very good selection, and it has a track by Carl Matthews, which was originally released on Clive Littlewood's label. So I posted this in the group yesterday, and it's like I could just, Clive, he likes to put a lot of emojis on his comments, and he just went nuts. But I understand it, because we love it when out of the blue someone else recognizes our work. And this is a very good compilation. I mean, everyone from Iasos to Tim Blake to Stephen Halpern, Laurie Spiegel, Todd Dockstader, Beverly Glenn Copeland, Richard Pinhas, Kevin Brahini. This is really well put together. I'm so glad that it turns out that my copy is okay. I thought I had a mispress. Played it with my fresh needle. So cool. Last thing to share about music that I can think of that I wanted to make sure to share is that, so I'll go to the comments. That'll be what I end on. So at some point, I'm listening to this music, and I'm also thinking about putting together, my set for Saturday. And I decided to approach that by playing one of my recent releases and seeing what to play, if anything, off of one of these. Aspects of the Imagined is what I played last night, and I had an experience with this, my own music. I did this. I'm so glad that it's not ego tripping. Some of this music really touches me when I listen to it and play it back. In particular on this one, Document 1 really hit hard last night. The end of it, the way it crescendos up to the organ solo at the end of it, it's like, this is what I want to hear. I don't hear hardly nobody making music like this. That's getting to me. It's a blessing that I can do it. Light of Day on here. I think I got maybe 2 copies of this left. But I'm probably not going to play anything off of this. I'm probably going to play Frangabon from my DHX CD that I just released last year. But it's a blessing that my music, it's real, and it connects. I'm so happy. Okay. Comment wise, folks, You folks are so cool. And I learned stuff from you. Joseph Benzola. Let's get that up here. That's Joseph is another musician who I've checked out his music, and he watches me, and he's also a friend on Facebook. Um, I love his comment about spiritual unity, and he also gives more information. He writes here that he says, I remember listening to an interview with drummer Milford Graves, and he states that Albert's sound would literally crack the plaster walls of the room that they played in. He said that many times he would stuff a rag into the bell of his tenor sax to absorb some of the vibrations. Milford also said that Eiler generated a huge amount of air to get his sound, and he was able to do so because of his thorax being so large. Makes sense, kind of like Richard Sinclair and I talked about that, about how Jaco Pastorius's thumbs were, I mean, he could bend them all the way back. They looked weird, and that gave him a grip above and beyond most folks. Good to hear from you, Joseph. And I've listened to your work, Joseph. Joseph is good. Yeah, I got an OG brain ticket. I sure do. Yeah. And hear from Jack Snap, waxing enthusiastic about the year 1973. Yeah. Dace Yates, who had made that recent video showing appreciation for me, says, "Have a great time playing. I absolutely hate playing live. Recording is my world. Um, Remember the next time, Dace, please. My name is Dereck, not Dereck, Reck. You know, I like both, but playing live is a chore, and I've done it so much that I don't like the work that's associated with playing live gigs, and even more than the back-breaking load in, load out setting up is the wait to play, especially when you're on tour. I hate that. So I feel you, Dace. I do. Um, yeah. So Mercury Rising. I didn't remove your comments, so it wasn't me. Good to hear from you, folks. It really is. It is. I'm gonna leave it right there. Family, friends, everyone, please be well, be loving, be part of the solution. Try to be. Let us try. Even though it's pretty obvious that this is the way it's going, is that we're at the end of empire, that things are falling apart and are going to fall apart, but we can still do what we can to make each day as beautiful as possible.